Guys, thanks for tuning in today. We got another review coming up in just a moment, but when it comes to Patlabor, really what we had as far as modern Goken was really this, or modern toys of it, aside from some vinyls that Band Presto probably made, things like that. But this was made by CM's Corp, which is their Brave Goken 7. Doesn't include two bots. It's only got one, but you can change in between the two, between Ingram 1 and 2. But this company's long gone. I've always just wanted like something else, and I know Yamato made I think it was Yamato made the big gigantic Patlabor, but those were expensive and they're gone. But we're going to be checking out something that just recently came out, guys. So really excited. What's up, guys? It's Charles here with Rocket Punch Army to do a review of the ROBO-DOU, I think that's pronounced right, Ingram Unit 1 from the Patlabor Mobile Police series. And this, believe it or not, is made by Threezero. Well, maybe you can believe it. They've made some pretty cool die-cast robots before. Just how much die-cast is in this, we will find out in just a moment, but it does have a authentication seal or whatever. Authenticity seal. And if we look at the back, sorry for my phone making noise, we have some nice like watercolor artwork. I don't think it's actually watercolored. It's probably just a photograph. They use one of those filters on Photoshop or whatever to get it looking like that. And it's got a cool window box design. Look at this. Nothing much going on here. Very simplistic artwork, right? A lot of blue going on, but you can see the bot there, and it's actually a pretty nice size. And there's a pretty good amount of heft on this box here. Hopefully it's not just the box causing all the heft. We'll find out in just a moment. We're going to get this guy open. I can definitely say with great pleasure that it wasn't just the box that had heft. It's definitely a bot, and it's a good heft. We're going to measure or weigh it, whatever. So in the package you get an antenna, a hand revolver cannon, the ever trusty riot gun, the Izumi Noah pilot figure, shield, a variety of alternate hands, face guard, and stun stick in extended and retracted form. And of course, Unit 1. I'm actually pretty bad at looking at instructions, but we're going to take a look at this here just so you can show you guys and also see if there's anything we need to look out for. So obviously there's a contest list. Oh, and the base. I forgot to show you guys base. It's on the lower half of the clamshell. But yeah, so it's got the exchanging face guard and antenna assembling, lighting of warning lamps, which is cool. I see that it does require batteries, and I'm thinking I don't have that. And of course, a caution for laser radiation. Very dangerous. Be careful. And of course, the warnings for like pinch marks or whatever, or places where it may scratch, how to insert the pilot. More warnings here of paint chipping. So that's really cool when they do warn you about that stuff, and then obviously how to build the base. Guys, you know I handle a lot of die-cast all these years, and just figures in general. Wish I could get a non-wobbly camera to pan up so it looks a lot cooler than it does now. But I'm going to venture to say that this is one of the coolest releases I've gotten in a while. And you know I've gotten a bunch. I mean, this is really cool. I just never expected something so nice to come from a company that's not really known for stuff like this. Well, I guess they are now. They've done a lot of Transformer stuff, but this is, yeah, this is up there, guys. Wow. Look at the detail on this. Oh my lord. It feels good. I feel a lot of plastic on the outside. I'm assuming most of the heft is from the frame inside, but the finish is absolutely stunning. There's got to be some paint here and there, but mostly just shiny white plastic, and of course the cloth. Very similar to the Brave Goken cloth. Very similar. Feels exactly the same. Hopefully it's not the type of cloth that just falls apart, but it's absolutely beautiful, this thing. Of course, we have to do some scaling and comparison with the Brave Goken 7 here on the side, which is the same figure. You notice the proportions look so much better on the Threezero figure. I mean, I always thought the Brave Goken looked nice, but now looking at it, it's kind of weird. But the slender proportion to this guy, really nice. So, but here's the cloth. Like I said, it's similar. It's just brownish. I think it was grayish. Maybe it's just aged itself and yellowed a bit. But let's get back to this guy. This thing, so beautiful. I mean, it's got a lot of things. I got to figure out everything. It's got the lenses here which pop out, which you have to actually attach on the Brave Koken. The Brave Koken also has the LED features, just like this does. You can see up here, we're going to hopefully find those batteries so we can check it out. I like how they did the, on the little knuckles and everything, they did all the little details by doing like a wash on it. And there's also like the wash in the lines to just really bring out those panels. So I'm going to take a look at the instructions, see, you know, where everything moves and whatever, so I can show you guys. Because, yeah, speechless. Oh my god, guys, I'm so excited. I have a bag of batteries and I actually have the right size. So let me just get a couple of these out, get it in there, and just get the battery LED set up. Alright, so now we got the batteries in there. They were easy enough to put on, just so you know. It's a little chipset in there. You can actually pop it out. You don't need to pop it out to install them, but maybe to take them out, you do need to pop out that little chipset in there, but that's working. Won't show it to you yet. Leave that as a surprise. We'll close this down. We're going to also attach this little antenna here, which is also required on the CMs. Keep referring to the CMs because that's the only other modern Koken we have. Alright, so that's on there. Next thing we might want to check out is the accessories. We got the riot gun right here. And does this open? Yes, it does. Alright, so, oh, this moves too. Cool. Alright. We're also going to check out the pistol. I have inserted it into the hand. You do have to flex the fingers out of the way, so just be careful. I believe this one is for the riot gun. Yep. There we go. Just like that. You can actually see it fits in there. We're going to check out what it looks like with that put on. We'll pop this. I was going to say we'll pop this out easy enough, but then his whole internal frame came out. But that's a thing. It actually does that. You'll see what that's for. But we're going to check them out with the riot gun here and get this out. Now that we're going to show you the reason for that pop-out gimmick on the hand here, and actually this opens up, and you'll see it's kind of RoboCop-ish. This thing pops up like that. I'm going to place the pistol right in there. Alright, so check this out. His hand would come down and extend, you know, I think that's about as far as it goes. But you'll notice this little mechanism. Let me just get in here so you guys could really appreciate it. If we bring this down, the mechanism brings out his pistol. Isn't that cool? And it hides it. Look at that. They got a nice little mechanism. Well, the idea was that he can actually reach and grab it. Obviously not going to do that. It's a toy. But and then it would just go in the hand. Like I said, you do have to bend the fingers out of the way. It's a little uncomfortable to do since it's soft PVC. But you get the pistol right in his hand just like that. Bring this in. So it's actually pretty cool the way they have that set up. Next we'll check out the stun stick. We do need to put on this alternate hand here. And then pop this little guy in here. Alright, that's actually a little easier said than done. But you got that here. And then I was going to just do like an animation where it just pops up. But I keep moving the figure too much. So, because it's kind of hard to get out of there and put in. Then of course this is with the stun stick extended all the way, which it really doesn't extend. It's just two separate pieces. Now, I like the way they did the shield attachment. Instead of leaving holes there, they put little things, little nubs, little caps, nubs, little caps. Kind of hard to get a grip of, but you see I've taken them off, and they're tiny. Do not lose them. They're really small. And then they got the shield which has two little metal plugs, which is kind of cool. Plugs right in, just like that. It's very nice and firm holding. But you got the nice shield there. Then we got this here on the shield. Let's translate that for you guys. What? Vision Agency? I don't think. Oh, there we go. Metropolitan Police Department. It's also got this hand, which is kind of slightly open, and then the fully opening hand. And of course they all have that little wash going on. The wash, I'm not going to say it's sloppy, but you can tell it's a wash. They didn't actually draw the lines in all between the little things. I've seen some companies do this a lot neater than others. This just shows up as a wash, which makes it look a little dirtier than the rest of the figure, but nothing bad overall. It does have a replaceable face mask here. which is just really thin where the visor area is. I think you have to remove the head. Let's go ahead and try that. You can see actually now that the head, the ball joint, is die-cast metal. So that's kind of cool. I popped the head off. I believe you have to pop the ear off. If not, I took it off anyway. And then here's the face mask. I wanted to show you up close the details of that visor. And this is about as super close as I can get, but you can see there's a lot of detail going on in there. This is very Valkyrie-ish, VF1S, whatever. The one that has that visor, isn't it? Alright, and now we got the new face plate on. Don't know if I'd ever leave it like this, but I guess it's cool that they left it, but you know, or they put it in there, but I'm definitely going to leave this guy on. Next we're going to check out the pilot feature. I didn't feel the need to really explain much about this character, but maybe I should in case you've never seen it. If you've never seen it, I suggest at least watching a few episodes. Some of it can drag on, I know, because I tried to watch it again and I stopped. But it really is a pretty cool anime, you know, which takes place like in the future that might be like, you know, our times now. It's not like distant future. I don't know. I don't even know the year. I'm just assuming because it doesn't look like super futuristic, but they do have a lot of, you know, these things going around. But the idea is that they have labor equipment that instead of being like, you know, cranes and stuff like that, they're actually big robots that are manned by people. And obviously, you know, there's bad people out there and they use them for no good, which is to do crime with these big gigantic robots since they're powerful. So you need robots to go after them. And of course you need pilots. So this is Izumi, I think her name is. Yeah. So we're going to open the chest. The Brave Goken also had that feature, and it was really nice the way they sorted that out. I'm excited to see how this works on this. But her little head would peep out right there. So first there's like a little protective thing, right? You can see it right there. Hope there's a way to pop it out easily without breaking anything. Of course there isn't. Try and grab it with this. There we go. Bring that up because that's actually going to protect her face. It probably has some heads-up display thing too. I don't remember. And then we have to bring this out. So you'll see that pops out. It's got, yeah, that is metal. That is definitely metal. You can see the inside. See, there's a lot of detail. You can see green in there, silver. All right, so that's the first part. Pull that out. Then lift this piece and bring down this white part here. And you can see the chair there now. You see the foot pedals. And you have to snake her in almost like every other Patlabor toy. You got to snake them in just like that. The only thing I notice is, I don't know if you push it up. Yeah, you push it up. All right, there you go. So it's very slight push up, but that'll bring her face up at the front here. And what they're going to do is close everything down again very carefully since there's nice paint there. And there she is. You can almost see her running after the mechs, the other Patlabors. Now that we're on the subject of detail, check out this shield on there. Look at the molding on there. It's a really tiny piece, but they've molded it really nice. And if we look down here, where's the detail on that license plate? Very smooth. You can actually read that. I don't even think I could read it with my bare eyes. You can even see a dust particle there on the side. But yeah, it's definitely legible. As far as articulation, guys, you got the neck. I showed you the joint here. It's a ball joint, so you can cock the head back and forth. That's about as far as it goes up. Down, you don't really want to bust her forehead open, but it does look down. And then you have these shoulders, which do go forward and back. And this, I wouldn't call it a ratchet, but it seems like there's like a little indent or detent, whatever you want to call that. The shoulder pieces move. It does state that the arms go back 45 degrees, and they surely do, right up to there. And then they go up 180. I'm not really trying to stress that cloth, but they'll go straight up. They just don't go around, obviously, because they got the cloth going around there. And if you want to be an idiot and spin it around all the way, you can, although it won't let you. But if you really try, you probably could snap it around. And then you have ab crunch. Yes, ab crunch built in. And these are one of those points that they tell you to be careful with. And can you turn? Yes, you can turn. All right. Again, I want to stress these things aren't made. Well, I shouldn't say they're not made. They're made to be very posable, but I would just be careful with what you're doing. The arms go out. See how everything hits? You gotta be careful. And the shield here is also hitting. You can Bring this up. You can see the armpit there. I'm being very careful, by the way, just so you know. And then you get the side to side there. You get the legs. They're all friction, but they're very tight joints. Same thing here. This is double jointed. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Not going to stretch the cloth past there. I'm also showing you the limits that I go to with these figures because I am a collector, not a player of these things. And the ankles, you do got like piston details. They're not really real pistons. The ankles are really tight, which is something I really appreciate when it comes to figures, because I don't know if you remember the Gold Light Tan was a beautiful figure, the pose one, but the ankles are just way too weak for a figure like that. And do we have, well, we have these protective pieces that move. I don't think we have toes or anything, although you can see there's a separate piece of metal there. I don't think there's anything for, you know, the toes, although they do look like they pose, but they don't. And they do turn side to side just a tad. Again, most of the limitations on the frame of this have to do with the panels on the figure, so nothing to fault it for, just you know, it's just part of physics. Hard things can't hit into other ones. So that's pretty cool. I think what we want to do now, am I forgetting anything? Well, the shield, you can store the stun stick in the shield here. Let me see if I can show you guys that, because I'm just going to probably take off the shield anyway, any moment. But you can store the stun thing, the stick. Whoops, I'm off camera. Which way? This way? Yep, just like that. You can actually store it in there. Pop it back on. Now, I've made the figure seem a little bit stiff in its articulations, and that's only as a collector who doesn't like to buy stuff over and over. But of course, this company can't afford to take these kind of pictures because they probably have a bunch of samples. But the arms really technically can go up out that far. This shows you the degrees of movement that I showed you, right? It tells you some pain points. I didn't show you the elbows, but there they are. So pretty good amount of articulation in the elbows. What was another thing I was going to show you? Oh, the legs. Yeah, look at the legs. Look how high they go up. Look at that. So yeah, really, really cool. Really articulated. Very impressive. So I wanted to show you guys the LED feature. All you got to do is lift this up. Unfortunately, there's no way to do it with it off that I know of, but you got to push the button, pop it back on. It's a little annoying that you got to do that, but at least it's easy to take off and put back on. I wouldn't really complain too much about that. Let's see if we can shut off some lights over here just to really get the effect. And these batteries are probably old too. Oh, you see that? This one probably oh, never mind. There it is. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. This apparently is running out of batteries. Yeah, it's definitely out of batteries. It just keeps shutting off. It's a one-way button. There you go. At least you get the idea, right? All right, it comes with this neat little stand. Very minimal, you know, detail. It's just panel lining on the ground. I don't know if it's meant to replicate anything specific in the series, but very simple. And you got this backing strut, or whatever you want to call this. You'll see it moves up and down. It's got some little teeth there. All you got to do is move this down and it locks it. As far as bringing this up, you can bring it up just by pulling on it, and then to bring it down you got to push against that. Sometimes it gets caught. I don't know how that works. Really don't know how that works, but I just keep doing it over and over till it works. And then this, don't want to ratchet it by hand. You just pull it out and it's got teeth on it, and just move it to where you want it to be. Do not ratchet that. You will break it. And then it just attaches to the base like this. Pops right in the back and in the front. I'm not popping it in since it's a little hard to take out. And then you would just pop your Patlabor on there. It's probably got something back here to hold it. Yeah, there's apparently a plate here you pop off and then it just connects on there. I'm not going to do that, but you get the point, right? Now we are going to see how much this thing weighs. So it's 0.820 pounds. It's less than a pound. Let's see how many grams. Or is it grams? 371 grams. And for more scaling, we have him here with the MP44, which weighs in at about 417 grams. Just so you can see a side-by-side comparison. Alright, so what's my final verdict on this? Yeah, you should buy it if you are even remotely... I'm not even like a huge fan of Patlabor, but I know a cool figure when I see one. And I venture to say that this type of figure is one of those figures, like a lot of them are, where people just sleep on them. You know, they see that the price isn't that crazy, or there's not enough reviews on them, or they're just not big enough fans, and then later on down the road, when they're $500, is when everybody's scrambling to buy them. Such is the case with almost everything like that comes out that is like probably not the most popular thing on the planet. And this is, I believe, one of those things. Just like the Yamato gigantic versions of these that were on clearance. They were like popular sort of, but then they went on clearance and then you couldn't find them. But that's actually a bad example because I don't know if that was ever cheap. But there's a lot of toys, and I think this is one of those that falls in that category where people just look at the price and they're just, yeah, I'll hold off on them. It's 120 bucks, 130, something like that. It's quite a figure for that price. I think for the price you get a lot. As a matter of fact, the other stuff that they make, the Transformers line, the Bumblebee line, I think this is better. The other one has a lot of details, a lot of weathering, but this feels good. Feels like a good figure. Definitely worth the price. So if you want to pick one up, please use the link in the description below, guys. Things are getting rough with this channel as far as budget and everything. So anything you guys can do to help, just like, share. You know, if you're going to buy something, use the link in the description. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments, guys, feel free to leave them below. Can't wait for the next release. I think the next release they're doing what Brave or whatever Siemens Corp did, where you can switch between two different Ingrams instead of like buying you know, two separate figures, which you buy two of them and you put one of each, whatever. But if you don't want to do that, you can only need to buy one, whatever. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.